A soulmate. I wish, kind reader, were it in my power to present to your mind's eye the favorite resort of the Richard soulmate. Would that I could describe the extent of the 4-bedroom house in the wealthy yet edgy neighborhood. The clean, luxurious, yet not too pretentious automobile overshadowed by perfect landscaping, as if to admonish intruding man to pause and reflect on the joys and pleasures should he persist in venturing farther into the recesses. Would that I could give you an idea of the plumage, the thin yet muscular body, the mature yet youthful physique. Would that I could provide to you an accurate image of the mating habits, the entwined limbs, the warm breaths, the extreme skills, the lips, the arms, the legs, the chest, the abs. Oh. But the attempt to picture these scenes would be in vain. Mere words from this unworthy tongue cannot impress any adequate idea of them. I love the idea of a soulmate, especially when they look like that. And I hate the idea of a soulmate. You know, after the grand opening, in common parlance otherwise known as divorce, I went through a series of 3 relationships with men. That's right, men. Now, after the 3rd one ended in the summer of 2008, I was once again single and feeling pretty sad and depressed. Well, on a Sunday morning, I was here when my eye was caught by an announcement for a workshop that seemed designed just for me. Conjuring up your soulmate, how to manifest the love of your life. Oh my God, so me. So of course I signed up and went. Now, let me tell you what I learned about soulmates. A soulmate is your perfect match. They are so perfect that the passion is electric and unremitting. There are never arguments. There is never jealousy. Everything is easy and so obviously right. You are in intellectual, emotional, and physical compatibility heaven. You sing songs about your lover at open mic nights and coffee shops. People are moved to tears. Everyone is jealous of you. When you go out skiing together, you carve perfect powder 8 ski turns and untracked powder snow. Every time you stop aging, tofu tastes good. Now, as I was listening to the speaker describe soulmate love, the most amazing experience I could ever imagine, strangely, I wasn't feeling joy and love. I was getting pissed. Now, even though all of my romantic relationships had had moments of great affection, they had also had moments of extreme frustration. For example, I was dumped for a 30-year-old assistant pastry chef, and I wasn't even gluten-free at the time. I took my partner to see Byron Katie speak in person. He fell asleep. Imagine that. You know, even though I had heard of perfect soulmate relationships, I had never seen one. You know, to me, a soulmate was like a rare, legendary bird. Oh, sure, there were fuzzy photographs and scratchy recordings of the bird's purported song. There were even some people who had claimed to have seen one. but there was never real proof. And I can tell you that that bird did not nest in my neighborhood when I was growing up. My parents were my first example of romantic relationship. Most of my memories of them when I was growing up were of them yelling and complaining. I tried very hard to stop those unhappy moments. When I was 12 years old, I used my portable battery-powered Panasonic cassette tape recorder to secretly record a dinner in which my mother was yelling at us. Now, I knew that the scientific method had brought us to the moon landing, so it should certainly have been able to help me out with my family life. I was completely baffled when my mother got even more angry upon being presented with the data. On the other hand, maybe they had given me a glimpse of this elusive soulmate bird. I was around 10 years old. They had their friends Kika and Joel over. They were all sitting around the dinner table laughing and telling stories. I was a child underfoot at that age, but I was fascinated and so happy to see my parents obviously in love with each other and with their friends. Now, I remember Joel making fun of my mother for her cleanliness fetish by verbally painting a picture of her making love to a vacuum cleaner. Now, the adults were practically peeing on themselves. They were laughing so hard. I was laughing too. I had heard the song of the soulmate bird. I'd seen it. And my heart raced with the prospect of having one of those in my life someday. Now, at the soulmate magnetization workshop, my heart was racing too. When considering whether or not to buy the Soulmate Attraction Manual, I applied the same logic I used as a kid when considering whether or not to buy X-ray vision glasses off the back of a comic book. Now, the odds of X-ray vision glasses actually working so I could see people's bones was admittedly low, but not zero. And if they worked, it would be so cool. Definitely worth the money. Now, I doubted that the Soulmate Attraction Manual would work, but it might. Definitely worth the money. So I bought one for $49.99 with the promise that I would manifest my soulmate in 30 days, satisfaction guaranteed. On day 7 of my Manifesting My Soulmate program, I went off for a 3-day retreat for gay guys from Seattle. Now, this retreat was basically an overnight summer camp experience that relived the overnight summer camp experiences of my childhood. And we had cabins with bunk beds, hiking, water balloon fights. We even had bad camp food. On the first afternoon of this retreat, I went off on my own and I did my soulmate magnetization exercise of the day. I sat on a rock. I meditated. I emanated love and attraction for my soulmate. That night, I saw an attractive man at the campfire. I started making my way over. But instead of feeling the confidence of divine inevitability, I felt like the little birdie in the children's book, Are You My Mother? Except the little birdie was a lot more direct than I was. I was thinking, are you my soulmate? What I said was, is there room on the bench for me to sit down? I was thinking, are you my soulmate? What I said was, so what do you do for work? Well, he probably talked about his job, but what I heard him say was, yes, Richard, I am your soulmate. Wonderful. So we started dating. He was charismatic and beloved by my children and everyone else. We could discuss weighty issues of philosophy and spirituality. He was even thin. Wow, this Manifesting Your Soulmate program really worked. Wow. Except we weren't doing powder-8 ski turns together. I was still aging, and tofu was still very bland. We broke up. Now, I had spent 49 years searching for love, and at that point, my searching techniques were getting more expensive and more elaborate. I was on safari with support teams and infrastructure. I was like Teddy Roosevelt, but without the trophies. But just like in the movie, Predator versus Aliens, while I was hunting my soulmate bird, something was hunting me.